Have you wondered how to get more than one sound into a resource pack? I'll show you how to do that in this video. Hi, George here, and you found the best channel for how-tos, tricks, and tips. And I've done a lot of videos about how to put sound, records, background music, stuff like that into Minecraft. And I normally use just one sound for the demonstration, but you can get more than one sound into one resource pack very easily, and I'll show you that here. Now, if you haven't done one of those videos in the past, I'll put a link for a couple of good videos in the description so you get the basics down. This is for people who've already done those videos and want to know how to take the resource pack even further by adding more sounds into it. Okay, we'll start off here with just a basic folder. This is my standard pack folder where I build things in. I have my pack PNG. This is just a 128 by 128 PNG image. That's all that is. Any image you want is fine. And then I have a basic assets folder over here. And I have some other folders from other videos that I've done. We take all this stuff and combine it into this one set over here. So inside of assets, I have Minecraft. You always have that in every single resource pack. Inside of this, we have these folders, Lang, sounds, and textures. Most resource packs will have textures. If you're doing sounds, you'll have the sounds in here. If you're doing records, you'll also have a Lang file. Okay, let's go back and see what we have. We'll start off here with blocks. This is blocks as in the record that's named blocks. Take a look at that. Open this one up. We have, again, Lang, sounds, and textures. In this one, we have the name changed wherever it shows up in the game. And then in sounds and records, there's the block's actual sound file. And then down here, we have a new texture for this as well. And that's an item. And this is music disc block. Okay, let's go ahead and see how this whole thing is done. I'll open this up in a new window, right-click and new window, just like that. Let's set this to large icons. And in our working folder, go into Assets and Minecraft. And let's start off with the sounds. Sounds, records. Let's make that a large icon again. And I have it here already for 11. So you just take the other record in here, goes into the same location. I'm just going to right drag it over here and copy. So now I have both of those records in the same folder. Let's back up into the Minecraft folder. Let's go into Textures and Item. Let's just change our view again. There we go, into Item. And I have my one music disc right here. And then back into our blocks folder and textures and item. And notice that these are the same. So when to change this one, this really should be saying 11 and not blocks. So let's backspace over this and put in 11. That's the name of that disc. And then we have our image over here for blocks. So I'll just drag this one in, right drag and copy. So now I have individual images for these two different records. Now you can go in and do different icons if you want to. I'm just using the same icons for this particular video. Okay, now the more tricky part of this, and that's the Lang folder. Open this one up. Here's our JSON file. If we go back in here, go back to Minecraft, and then Lang file here. Again, we have our English US JSON file here, and the same thing over here, JSON file. Let's just set these icons to large size. There we are. Now, this is one spot that you need to make sure you have a current version of your JSON file. There have been some changes in how this is laid out recently. So I'm going to be getting a brand new JSON file to use. We'll go to our main working folder here. And I'll set this up right here in the main working folder. Okay, now to get the new Lang file and that new JSON, we need to get the vanilla resource pack. And for that, the easiest way is just to open up the Minecraft launcher. I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And here we go. Here's the Minecraft launcher. Make sure you're in the Java edition and then go up here where it says installations and latest release and click on the folder right here. So open this up. And in here, scroll down until you find versions. And it's right here. Open this one up. And then find your version. Right now, the latest version is 121.8. So that's what we're looking for. So scroll down, and here we go, 121.8. Now you want the one that's just numbers. You don't want anything that has additional stuff after it. That's for other uses. You want the one that's just plain numbers like that. Let's go into that one. And you need to see that extension in here. This is 121.8 JSON and 121.8 jar. If you don't see your extension, I'm in Windows 11, go to View, come down to Show, and put a check mark right here, File Name Extensions. If you're in Windows 10, go up to the View tab, over to the right-hand side, and put a check next to File Name Extensions. Same thing. You'll then see that extension. Now, the reason for that is we need to be copying out the jar file. Okay, here's our working folder right there. So let's take the jar file, right-drag it over here, and copy. Make sure you're copying and not moving. Okay, we can close this down. Now we're done with that. Now we need to convert this over into a zip file. It actually is a zip file. It just says .jar. So click into the name, click once, and you can then backspace over the jar and make that say zip, click outside and choose yes. There we go. Now right click and open in a new window, and it's right here. If you want to use the default icon for your pack icon, you don't want a custom one, you'll find that right inside here. It's way down near the bottom of the list, a long ways down. And it's right here, pack.png. That's that grass block thing. Let's go back to the top. Let's go inside of Assets, inside of Minecraft. Find the lang folder right here. Go inside of that. And then you want the en_us JSON file. Take the one you find, right drag it over here, and copy. Okay, there we go. That's a JSON. Okay, we can close this down now. Get that out of our way. Now I'll open this up inside of Notepad++. It's a free download, and it's a great little code editor for working inside of Minecraft. It's my favorite one for that. And here we go. Now we need to find the records in here. So go up to Search, Find for Music, and Find Next. You find a few things you don't want. That's a category. We don't want that one. Here's a stat. We don't want that. Here's an advancement. We don't want that. Just keep on going down. Here's the stuff for disk fragment 5. It's in its own section right here. This is the image. Item Minecraft disk fragment. And that's your description right here. Okay, let's come down. And here's the music disks. And we have 2 things in here for each record. Here's disk 5 and disk 5 description. Here's disk 11 and disk 11 description. The top one is what shows inside of the inventory. And the second one down here, this is the actual name of the disk. Now we're changing 2 things in here. We have disk 11, which is this one. And we also have blocks, which is this one right down here. Now the record I'm using on blocks is called Vishnu. I'll just type in Vishnu down here. Let's just copy that, right click copy, and put that where it says music disk right above that. Right click and paste, there we go. In the disk 11, I'm using a song called Happy Day. There we go, I'll just copy this, select that, right click and copy. And the music disk right above that one, right here, right click and paste. Now it used to be that that's all you had to do. We now have to also change this one more place inside of here, what shows up inside of the jukebox when you put it in the jukebox. Let's take care of that one. Let's go up here to search, come down to find, and then search for jukebox, and next. And here we go. Here's a list of all the songs that are in the jukebox. This is what shows in the game. So our first one right here, that's disk 11. This is Happy Day. And then blocks is right here. And this one is Vishnu. There we go. It takes care of all of that. So we've updated our lang file, and we now have both of our changed records in the lang file correctly. They'll now show correctly inside of the game. Now there's this lang file right here. Now I need to put this one inside of our basic working pack over here. I'll do this in 2 steps. Let's go inside of this, inside of lang. I'm just going to delete the one that's in here. We don't need that one anymore. Let's back out to pack. Let's take our new one and put that into assets, into Minecraft, into lang, and there we go. So we now have our updated lang file. We have our sounds inside of record right here, and we have our new textures inside of item right there for our 2 disks. Okay, that takes care of the disks and takes care of this one as well. Let's do a couple more sound things in here. I have another folder over here. Inside of this one, I have music and game, and I've changed a bunch of the music in here, the regular music and also the creative music up here. So there's been a lot of changes on this one. So let's take care of that. So this is our working folder. I'll go into assets over here and Minecraft. We're changing just background music. So go into sounds and then go over here to our second folder. We're going into my creative music folder, assets, Minecraft, sounds, and music. So everything inside of this folder, let's just change our view. I want all this background music over here inside of this folder. So I'll just right drag it over here and copy. And there we go. All the background music is in here. Now, background music doesn't need a lang file change. It doesn't need an icon in the items. So that's all we have to do with background music. And again, this has a lot of background music in here. A big file with a lot of changes. And there we go. That's all the music I have in here. All the changed music. It's all in the same folder. Okay, back to our regular pack folder. So we have records we've changed. We've changed background music over here. Let's change a creeper sound. I got one of those. So let's go back over to this side and go into creeper sound and sounds and custom. Here's my creeper sound. Now this one's a little bit trickier because for this to work, for the creeper sound to work, we have to also make a change on the sounds.json file. And that's this code right here. I'll put a link for the video on how to do this inside of the description so you can see how this was done. But basically, we need to have that sounds.json over into this folder over here. So we'll do 2 things. I'll take the sounds.json. We're going into the regular folder over here. So go into assets, Minecraft. We see our sounds folder here. That's what we have here. Let's just change our view. So right here is where our new sounds.json goes. Right drag it over here and copy. There it is. And then inside of sounds, I have a custom folder in here, right here. So go inside of this sounds, and then I'll just drag our custom folder over here and copy. And it goes right there. Okay, so we've now combined in the creeper stuff. Okay, just to make this complete in here, I also have a folder over here with some color button changes. So some image stuff. Let's open this one up. And I have some textures in here in the GUI and sprites and widget. And I have my button colors right there, my nice blue buttons that I like using on the menu page in Minecraft Java. So let's add those in as well. Over here, assets, Minecraft. Here's our textures. Open this one up. And I just need this GUI folder. Right drag it over here and copy. So I've now combined that in here as well. So you can see we've put in here and put a lot of stuff in the same resource pack folder. Most of it's just copying and putting it into the right folders. The two things that you have to worry about is the sounds.json. If you have multiple sounds, they'll have to go into the same sounds.json. You can only have one sounds.json in your game. And same thing with the lang folder. You can only have one language file right here. So if you have several language files, you have to combine all this stuff into just the one language file. Okay, so we have that. We already have our pack PNG. The last thing you need to do in here to make this into a resource pack is to get your pack.mc meta. And for that, you can get that on my website. It used to be included inside of the vanilla resource pack. It no longer is, but I have this on my website. I'll bring that up right now. And this right here, I'll put the link for this in the description. And right over here, here is the code for the current resource pack. This is for 121.7 and 121.8, same thing. If you don't want to copy this and put it into a file, you can download the whole thing right here. Just click on this, save it back into the same working folder, choose save. Okay, that's done. Let's get this out of the way. Comes down as a zip file. I'm going to right click on this and open in a new window. There's a pack MC meta. Just drag and drop over here. You can then close this down and you can delete the zip file. We don't need that any longer. I'll edit this inside of Notepad++, bring that up. Here we go. Pack format is correct. And then I'll just change this name right up here. And I'll call it custom pack multiple sounds. Choose save. That's done. We can now build this into the pack. Grab your assets, hold the control key down, grab your pack PNG and your pack MC meta. You need those three things. Right click and compress to zip file. Give it a name. And then just put this into the game and activate that. It's very easy to do. Let's bring back up the Minecraft launcher. Right here, go back into that installations folder right here. This time come down to resource packs, open this up, and our new pack goes right here. So let's right drag it over here and copy. It goes right there at that point. That's now in the game. Then all you have left to do is just to activate that in the game. So I'll play the game, and then we'll activate that resource pack. Okay, here we are inside of the game. This is my menu screen. It's all customized. As you can see, these are my rollover buttons. If you want to see how I did all these things, I have several videos on this. I'll put links for those in the description. What we care about now is coming down to options and resource packs. And then left-hand side, you'll find your pack we just uploaded right here, multiple sounds. Click on that arrow. It goes over here, right-hand side. Choose done. Choose done again. And you can then go into your game and you'll have that working resource pack. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up and also make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. So I get a real YouTube play button instead of this fake one in here. I got a little ways to go and you can help me get there. Doesn't cost you anything, just hit that subscribe button. That way you also won't lose my channel in the future. And I'll see you next time.